Growth as a business owner has been truly life-changing. A Grady baby coming soon. Like, you can go out with your boys and have a good time, and I know that you coming home to me and you ain't did nothing stupid. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Kemiana Alexis, aka Miss K Millie, and as y'all see from that title, today we are doing our official girl talk / Q&A / get to know me, because I have never did one of these on my channel and I'm super duper excited. But like I was saying, y'all stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm going to be dropping a very big surprise, a very long awaited surprise. And I just feel like 2024 is my year and I'm taking things very personal. So yes, I'm going to be looking down at my phone because I asked TikTok, Instagram questions to ask me for this Q&A / girl talk, because I just really want to get to the nitty gritty. So first question is, where am I from? So I'm actually originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but I currently live in Greensboro, North Carolina right now. So I pretty much moved out here because at one point in time I was going to Winston-Salem State University to get my business administration degree. However, you know, life started lifing and my business really started growing and taking a toll in my everyday life. And I really realized that, like, I'm really at heart a business person. I really just got into the place of me wanting to take my business serious, and it also got to a point where I was really in class working on business stuff, and that's how I knew, like, okay, my head is not all the way in this. So it's kind of like, why am I here and why am I wasting my time and my professor's time? The time that I'm sitting in this class, somebody else who actually wants to be here could be in that class. That's why I kind of am out here. And I was really ready to leave home. Like, I wanted to leave home so bad. Like, when I turned 18, y'all, I literally moved out. And it's no shade to my parents or anything, but I was just ready for that independence, to be able to just live my life and do what I wanted to do. Of course, I know, looking back over it, I really wish I would have never rushed my time. But you know, it's a learning experience, and I'm super grateful. Now looking back at it, I couldn't imagine like living in my parents' house no more. Like, I'm 22 years old and I have been at my parents' house since I was 18, and I feel like that's a really big accomplishment. And that just goes to show you that if you really put your mind to it, then you really can get out and you can move out as soon as I did. The next question was, am I still a college student? No and yes. So earlier last year, I actually enrolled back into college, but I only did like online classes, and online classes work better for my schedule because it still allowed me to have the freedom to take my business serious and things like that. But like, I just really found out, like, girl, I don't know if I'm ready to go back to school. But even if I do go back to school, I think I really want to change my major. Change my major to what exactly? I'm not really sure. Maybe nursing or something. I don't know, girl. Take a sip. It's shot o'clock, period. My girl said take a sip. I hope you got your cup too. So y'all make sure, take a sip. We need to take a sip right now. Take a sip to that. So I'm actually gonna like kind of like skip around on these questions because y'all, I have a lot of questions. Like, I have a lot of questions. So one question was, how do you feel about your growth as a business owner? So my growth as a business owner has been truly life-changing. Going into starting my business, I never ever thought that like my business would be as successful as it is today. Like, I started my business off of the strength of, oh, let me just see where this could possibly take me. And literally, I'm about to hit year 4 in my business right now, and I'm like, only person who literally made me be as successful and made me keep going is God, because as many times as I wanted to give up, but I didn't. And I feel like the reason why I am so successful in my business is because I was hungry. If you're not hungry for what you're going after, like, you will never be successful and you will never succeed. Like, you have to want it as bad as any of these big entrepreneurs that have these $1 million brands, you have to want it as bad as they wanted it. But yeah, my growth as a business owner has really been amazing. I literally remember when I first started my business, y'all, I was in my mom's basement. It was one day I was like, Mom, I want to turn your whole basement into like a beauty studio. Girl, mind you, upstairs it was a hot mess. Like, no shade to my mama, but it was a hot mess, y'all. It was a hot mess. But I literally took the time out. I went on Amazon at this time, and I cleared out the whole upstairs space. I bought me a lash bed. I bought me a little tapestry to go on the wall. I got me some LED lights. I was making it my own little vibe, because I'm like, it still got her stuff over there, pushed over there in the corner and stuff, but I still had to make it my own little vibe. So my business growth has been honestly amazing, and I am now into my third suite, which is so crazy to say. I'm in my third suite from my business, and yeah, so hopefully we'll be opening up our own space really soon. I don't know though. Whatever God has planned for me, it's just whatever God has planned for me. So how long have you been lashing for? I have been lashing for almost 4 years. March will make 4 years of my lash business, and I'm excited. I don't really know what I want to do for my business this year, but I said I want to do something big, because 4 years is really a big accomplishment. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I hit 10. Like, when I hit 10 years, y'all, it's got to be something big. So, one question is, what got you into doing lashes? I think I briefly just spoke about this, but lashes just sporadically came on to me. I was scrolling on Instagram one day, and this girl had posted that she was doing discounted lash classes. Mind y'all, I had never wore lash extensions a day in my life. Like, never. I never had no interest in wearing lash extensions, nothing, girl. I was just like, okay, well, I mean, it's just $200, and I'm interested in the beauty industry, so like, why not just invest my $200? Mind y'all, I was dead broke. I was working at Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, if y'all did not know, and I was a host, and how we got paid was tip outs. So we got paid from the tip outs that the servers made and that the bar made. And sometimes I would be lucky to come home with $80. Sometimes I'd be lucky to come home with $20. It was just so up and down. And I was just tired of living my life like that. So I literally invested my last $200 that I had in my bank account to go do my lash course. And after that, I remember being dead broke to the point where, like, I had to ask my mom and my dad if they could give me gas money just so I could make it back and forth to work. Not knowing that, like, this was going to turn into a 6-figure business. Not knowing that this was going to make me successful and be able to help me live my dream life that I always dreamed to be, like, to live. But yeah, I just invested my money in, and literally the day after I took my lash class, I had a model. That's what I mean by you have to be hungry. If you're not hungry by it, if you're not motivated and driven by wanting to succeed, you're not going to succeed. So, but yeah, that's how I pretty much started my lash business. Next question is going to be what are your thoughts about being in a relationship with an entrepreneur? So prior to me being in the relationship that I'm in right now, I always told God, I said, God, like, please give me a relationship with a partner who is also an entrepreneur, because I just feel like as an entrepreneur, you need to be in a relationship with an entrepreneur. I mean, some people are able to be in relationships with like partners who's not an entrepreneur and not a business owner, but like, I personally feel like it's harder for them to connect and understand you. Like, you having a hard day at work, they can understand that, every day is not going to be glitz and glam. They can understand that, you're not on a salary-based pay. Some weeks you're booked and busy. Some weeks you have 0 clients. Some weeks you have 2 to 3 clients. And they can understand that, and they could be the ear to help bring you and motivate you. So honestly, what I can say about my boyfriend is he has really helped me grow. He has helped me gain a lot of patience. Prior to our relationship, I can really say I was impatient. And I'm not saying right now like I'm really the most patient person. No, I'm not. But like, I'm definitely growing, and I see the growth from 6 months ago to now. Like, my mental is constantly changing, and I don't also I don't know if it has an effect that he is a little older than me. It forces me to not really grow up fast, but it forces me to be a lot more mature, because realistically, I don't like no immature men. Like, my man is very mature. I can really say that. Like, and most men really mature really slow, but my man is very mature. I mean, of course he do have his moments where he is a little ding dong in the head, but that's the typical man for you. But for the most part, he is very understanding and very supportive of like everything that I really do, and that's why, like, that's my man. Like, forever and always, that's gonna be my man. London talk, y'all. These comments, my girl London talking about some he your grandpa, bruh. Leave my man alone. Don't do him. But yeah, I really do feel like as an entrepreneur, you really should be in a relationship with another entrepreneur. It just, like, minds just go so well. I really could say that. Another question was, is there a Grady baby coming soon? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Y'all just gotta stay tuned for if the Grady baby is on the way. Just know, if I am pregnant, y'all would not know. That's all I gotta say. Another question is, how do you deal with your boyfriend being involved in the club 24/7? So at first, when we first got together, that was like a big red flag for me. I'm gonna sip my wine on that one. So yeah, it was a big red flag for me. When we first got together, I really hardly ever wanted to give him the time of day, just because he has that title where he's always in these female spaces, and it's not like intentional in female spaces. It's just more so that's his job, that's what he does. So I have to understand that, like, he might have to cackle in somebody's face a little bit, and just, he might got a smile in their face, and I can't take it too personal, because at the end of the day, he coming home to me, and he's the one who's paying the bills. So you gotta do what you gotta do. Long as you're not out here disrespecting me and making me look dumb or stupid, like, I'm okay with it. And I also feel like I don't have to be with my man 24/7 to know that he's not gonna do nothing behind my back. Like, we have trust in our relationship. Like, you can go out with your boys and have a good time, and I know that you coming home to me and you ain't did nothing stupid. But just know, please just know, baby, you got one good time. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so tips that you can give for starting. What tips can you give someone for starting a business? Let me see. One tip that I can give you in particular is just know that if you do decide to want to start a business and start a service at that, and it doesn't go for you, don't take it as you're not meant to be a business owner. Take it as maybe what you're specifically trying to progress in and what you're specifically wanting to do might not be for you. For example, I have a lot of people who really desire to want to do lashes, and I get a lot of inquiries about lash classes, and it used to be very discouraging for me as a lash instructor whenever I would get students who would take lash classes with me. I get very frustrated whenever they don't get the material after the first try. Don't take it as you're not meant to be a business owner. Like, lashes is not for everybody, babe. Like, you have to accept that. And the sooner you accept that, the more successful you will actually be in your business career. But also, too, another tip that I can give you is just start. I'm reading that off of one of the comments that from a lash artist, actually, in my comment section. She was just saying, just start. A lot of times the hardest part about starting a business is just starting. You might not have all the pieces figured out, and you might not have a name. You might not know how you're going to get the money to do it. But if it's meant for you, God will make things appear for you. Just for example, like my Lash Lover tour that I'm actually going to be on tour next month. I I randomly got the idea that I wanted to go on lash tour. And God really placed on my heart. He was like, you should do Fayetteville, Greensboro, and Charlotte. I didn't know no locations of where I was going to specifically do this lash tour at. I didn't know nothing. I just knew that I wanted to do a lash tour. And I knew the cities that I wanted to do. My next lash tour, I actually do want to hit a lot more cities and actually make it a rural tour, but I wanted to start out somewhere and just see how I would be able to handle, teaching 10 plus girls. But honestly, I don't want to do any more than 10 girls in my classes because I want my classes to be very intimate and small. With that being said, just start. A lot of times, like I said, the hardest part is just starting. So yeah. What's an affirmation that you live by? I would say more so, what is the affirmation that I live by? Oh, I don't chase, I attract. What is meant for me will simply find me. That was my lock screen for like the longest period of time, because I was just like, girl, it's no more stressing about what you want to have. It's no more of looking at these Instagram girls and wishing that you had what they had. And I have really never been that type of female to be on social media where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I want to live their life so bad. I have never been that type of female. One person that I can say that I'm very inspired by, and I'm not inspired by like her herself, but I'm definitely inspired by like the way she runs her business, is Jada Waiter. I don't care what nobody got to say. Like, everybody was doing that whole controversy between her and Ari, and I don't care what nobody gotta say. Jada and her business and her marketing is top tier. Another one is Diera. I really inspire and look at those girls and how they run their businesses. Yes, they are super successful, and of course, pretty much anything that they drop, anything that they launch, like, people are gonna buy it just because it's Jada Waiter and just because it's Diera. But it's just like their marketing and their marketing strategies when it comes to marketing their businesses, I inspire it tremendously. Thoughts on people not being able to handle the truth. Mm. 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 Hmm. So honestly, my mom said I am that type of person where I'm not able to handle the truth. And to a certain extent I am, but the older that I'm getting and the more that I'm growing, I'm understanding that the truth really hurts.